เอาละวันนี้มาต่อพาร์ท 2กันดีกว่าตอนที่2
Previously on Alan Wake, I came to Bright Falls with my wife, Alice.
Thank you for coming here with me. I thought maybe you could write here.
I don't want to hear it. God damn it.
ไม่ได้เล่นนานเลยลืมเรื่องไปหมดแล้ว
She's missing. Alice?
จะไปขับไปขับถ่ายเฉยจะลืมดีเทลหมดเลย
I woke up behind the wheel of a crashed car. I'm missing a week. I was attacked by shadowy men straight from a nightmare. The sheriff took me to the lake Alice and I had stayed at, but the cabin had disappeared.
โยนอดีตนี่เองโอ้เกรียงเกาหน้าเกรียงเกาไม่มีหนวด
Honey, I'm home.
สมัยหนุ่มๆแน่ๆเลย
How was it?
Worst weather I've ever seen.
You should put some coffee on. It'll warm you
นี่
up.
ไงเจอกระติกกาแฟ
Hey,
อีกแล้ว
handsome. This is gonna be a long night, but these
ตั้ง
shots
100 ชิ้น
are
เนี่ย
turning out
เก็บ
great.
รอบแรกเก็บไม่ครบแน่
I guess you're gonna need that coffee then. I'll go put it on.
ๆโอ้ถ่ายรูปลงปกหนังสือเข้มเชียวเครื่องชงกาแฟอ๋อนี่ไง
Coffee's on.
Great, thanks. I'll need it if I'm gonna finish this by tomorrow.
โอ้สวยนี่
Oh, hey, I just finished those cover mock-ups. They're on your desk. Tell me what you think.
No kidding. I didn't think you'd get them done this quickly.
On occasion, I can perform all sorts of miracles, my dear.
Oh, really?
Well, you seemed to think so last night.
These look
อ๋อ
really
ปก
good.
หนังสือ
Oh, sure, until Barry gets his hands on them. Which, by the way, will happen over my dead body. The last time was the last time.
This was a late goodbye. 13 years after I'd gotten my revenge, it had finally caught up with me. It had been a long time to bear the pain. My blood painted the snow red. A gruesome slushy dissolved all the scattered painkillers and leisurely dripped down to the sewer, mingling with the bile of the city, becoming one with it.
โอ้
I can see them now, my wife and my baby. Honey, I'm home. It's true what they say about the fall and the sudden stop at the end. I'd lain here in the snow.
Oh, and speaking of Barry, he called.
ไปดับ
Alan!
แฟนสาวเรากลัวความมืด
Please
ซะด้วย
check the fuse box.
I'm right here. I'm on it, honey.
Please hurry.
I'm right here, baby.
I'm fine, I'm fine. Just get the lights back
Honey,
on now,
it's a power
please.
outage. I've got the flashlight.
Okay. Hi.
You okay?
I'm sorry. It just really spooked me.
Don't worry. We'll just break out the candles.
จุดเทียนกัน
it's
โรแมนติก
stupid, but it's just... Especially when I'm not prepared for it, you know? It gets to me.
I love you.
Tell me a story, writer.
Okay. I used to have these nightmares when I was a kid. The dark really spooked me, too. When it got really bad, my mom gave me this old light switch. She called it the clicker.
The clicker, huh?
Yeah. If I ever got scared of the dark, I could just flip the switch and a magic light would scare the monsters away.
Oh, sure.
Here it is.
Alan.
Maybe it'll help you, too.
Yeah, nice story, writer boy. You made that up right now, didn't you?
No. Seriously.
I love you, even if you are a liar. Thanks for this.
โรแมนติกเชียว
I
do you feel, Mr. Wake? Any nausea, disorientation, anything like that? Mr. Wake, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. My head's fine. I had to lie about my headache and memory loss. He'd send me to a hospital for tests. I couldn't leave without Alice.
Very well. I don't think you have a concussion, but you've obviously been through quite a shock. You should take it easy for a couple of days.
Thanks.
Well then, Mr. Wake, we're done here. If the pain gets any worse or you experience any other symptoms, you should come see me. I'll let you get on with it then. Sarah, Sheriff
กว้างนิดนึง
is waiting for you. She's very good at her job.
เกมนี้ไม่ใช่อาวุธบู
Locate your wife
ก็เลยไม่ได้ไปทั่วก็จะได้กว้าง
Doc Nelson was the image of a small-town doctor. Sheriff Breaker had called him to the station to take a look at the cut in my head. I'm sorry you had to cut your morning fishing short for this, Doc.
Oh, she's a beauty, ain't she? Not the biggest I ever caught, if you can believe that coming from an old fisherman like me, but she's right up there. Now, she's a largemouth bass, which is what you're after if you prefer a lure. Now, if you want either trout or salmon, on the other hand, then it's fly fishing for you. You a fishing man, Mr. Wake? Oh, doesn't really matter, I suppose. But it can be very relaxing out there. You can't get me off the water this time of year. Closest thing to heaven.
I'll take your word for it, Doc.
เราเป็น FC สายตกปลาดูข้างนอก
Thank you for testing the lights, Miss Weaver. Everything seems to be fine.
ค้นหาเนี่ยเขา
I'll be sure to take care of it, Miss Weaver. Have a nice day now. Very good.
หาเยอะเลยนะเนี่ย
Come in, Mr. Wake.
Oh.
Your phone's on the desk. The battery was dead. It's charged now.
Have you started looking for my wife yet?
My men are already on it. Now, can you tell me what happened?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. We were arguing. I walked out of the cabin.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? How did you end up at Stucky's gas station?
I wanted to tell her what had happened last night, but I couldn't. She'd lock me up. Excuse me. I need to take this. Hello?
Alice, please help me.
Alice?
Stop talking to the law. You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife.
Who is this?
Go to the back lot. There's a hole in the fence on the left. Look inside the junker. I left a little something there to convince you we're all on the same page here. After you ditch the cops, you're gonna meet me in Elderwood National Park. There's a spot called Lover's Peak. Midnight. Don't do nothing stupid, pal. We're watching you.
Mr. Wake, can I help you with anything?
I need to get some air. The sheriff said I could go out back.
Of course, Mr. Wake. You can get there through the cell corridor. Just don't mind Walter in there. He's one of our regulars.
I thought he quit drinking for good.
Oh, no such luck. He went on a bender and beat Dana pretty badly.
Yeah,
He
it's
started
Mulligan
shouting
here.
like that the whole
แฟนสาวโดนจับเป็นตัวประกันเลย
There's no sign of him. Wait.
Alice looked through the viewfinder, lining up the shot. Cauldron Lake was breathtaking. Something caught her eye. A figure standing in the shadows behind the cabin, like a thin woman in a black dress. She lowered the camera and looked again. No one there. Just a collection of bushes that looked vaguely human-shaped. She shook her head and laughed.
I don't like the goddamn shadows in here. Hey!
You can get to the back lot through that door and down the corridor, Mr. Wake.
Thanks.
Hey, mister! Hey, can you turn the light? The light's on! The deputies, they don't understand. They won't listen to me. Thank you, man, thank you. Hey, you're alright. You're a good guy. Don't let anybody tell you different. You know, I shouldn't even be in here. The cops, they got it all wrong. See, Sure. I beat him up, but I wasn't drunk. I mean, I wasn't drunk at the time.
นี่ดูเบามากนะบอกไม่เมาแต่นี่เบามากเลย
Okay, listen. You gotta listen carefully now. Here's the kicker. That wasn't Danny. No, sir. It only looked like him. You wanna know who it really was? I'll tell you who it really was. It was a goddamn space alien! I know it sounds like something a drunk would say, but believe me, I wasn't drunk then.
พวกนี้ใครจะเขาจะเชื่อนะตอนนี้ก็เมาอยู่แอบอยู่ไปไฟดิ
Oh, why'd you do that for? You're with them, aren't you? You're those space aliens! You think you got me right where you want? Well, you just wait! You just wait! I told him,
The early morning light hurt my eyes and made my head ache. The man on the phone had said, go through the fence on the left.
Well, folks, it's been another long night, and it's about time for me to sign off for a while. God knows I need my beauty sleep.
ข้างนอก
The kidnapper fired his gun one last time, and the shadow vanished into the darkness it had come from. See? Nothing to it, Wake. The thought of Alice in his hands was revolting. We stood on the wooden platform of Lover's Peak, the waterfall on the mountain behind us, the lights of the radio mast blinking red in the heights above. I fought with the urge to take a swing, force myself to speak. Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife? Alice's driver's license had been placed on the front seat. The caller meant business.
Barry? Ow! Thank God! Where the hell have you been? I've been trying to reach you for a week, you and Alice. I've been worried sick. I flew out yesterday. I'm here in Bright Falls.
Barry, listen to me. I'm at the sheriff's station. Come and get me. I can't talk now.
Ow! What the hell is going on?
I had to get the sheriff to let me go. I needed to get to Elderwood National Park to meet Alice's kidnappers.
Không cóมีของต้องเก็บอีกไหมเก็บมีของเก็บจุกจิกอยู่นึงหน้าหนังสือกับกระติกกาแฟหลับจะแลกขดเมา
A writer is a light that reveals the world of his story from darkness, shapes it from nothingness. The way a sculptor carves a statue from a block of granite. If I stop, the world I'm making dies. Darkness will reclaim it. It's a long, hard journey into the dark. Alice's life is at stake, but I can't think about that, or I'll lose it. The dread lingers at the edge of perception. I'll push on. Anything is possible here. I'll write the story. I'll save her.
Marvelous, sir. I just wanted to settle all the damage the Anderson brothers might have inadvertently caused on their recent and regrettable little outing. They are not accountable for their actions, of course. I can assure you that my staff has been reprimanded.
Tor and Odin never caused any...
Are you feeling any better, Mr. Wake?
I'd like to leave. Am I free to go?
Well, we still need to talk about...
Am I under arrest?
No, of course not. But I need to know where you'll be staying so I can get in touch with you.
I'd avoid the motel. The Majestic is known for its roaches. The cabins at Elderwood are pretty nice, though.
That sounds perfect.
I'm Dr. Emil Hartman. I'd like to invite you to stay at Cauldron Lake Lodge.
Did you talk to my wife?
I had the pleasure of discussing your situation with her on several occasions.
Did you set something up with her?
I invited her here. My clinic is a place where...
Oh, hey! Oh, my! Take it easy.
Hey, nobody move! Get your hands off of my client!
Who are you?
I'm Barry Wheeler, his agent. If you have business with Mr. Wake, you talk to me. You yokels won't know what hit you once I sick my lawyers on your asses.
No harm done, Sarah. I'm all right. I don't want to press charges. Mr. Wake, my offer still stands.
Get me out of here.
What the hell was that about, Al? We don't need a replay of that thing with the paparazzi. I thought they were gonna lock you up.
I had to talk to someone. I told Barry everything. He thought I was certifiable, but when he heard about the manuscript, I had him. The fact that I'd written something, even if I couldn't remember it, was enough for him. He smelled money. And he believed that Alice had been kidnapped. Anything beyond that was another story. I had a midnight appointment with the kidnapper in a place called Lover's Peak, somewhere in Elderwood National Park. The plan was to rent a cabin.
I don't like it, Al. I don't like any of it. It's not good. In fact, it's the absolute opposite of good.
Mr. Wake! Barry, you found him.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, wow. I was just thinking about you, too.
FC เราที่ร้านกาแฟร้านอาหารของครูวะที่ไหน
coffee. He's on the balcony, looking after Max. Poor thing. I really need to go. Great to see you again, Mr. Wake. Later!
Who's Max?
What an airhead.
Jeez, Mr. Takes a swing at everybody. This is not her fault. She's a very nice girl and, more importantly, a fan. She even has a fan site dedicated to you. Seriously, Al, what you were saying in the car? Just listen to yourself. What, you shot a guy and his body just disappeared? When was the last time you slept? What, are you high? Have you been drinking?
No! Look, Barry, I'm missing a week, and someone's got Alice.
Do you
and everything's
understand
just...
what it sounds like when you say stuff like that? Don't get me wrong, it's a good story, could be a bestseller. But when you start confusing fiction with reality, you're buying yourself a ticket to the funny farm.
Wait here.
กาแฟ คุยกับรัสตี้
Easy there, boy. I'm almost done.
Hey, Rusty, right? You rent cabins.
Oh, Mr. Wake. I'd shake your hand, but mine are kind of full here. Actually, I'm sorry about this. Would you mind grabbing the registration form from the desk? It's just across from Bucktooth Charlie.
Okay, sure. What happened?
Crazy poachers. Max here got his foot caught in a trap. They're illegal to use here. Hell, you're not supposed to hunt within the park at all. But that doesn't stop some lowlifes. Well, at least Max is gonna be okay. He got lucky.
Seriously, Al, you can't just go and meet a kidnapper. Those situations always end up in disaster. You gotta talk to the cops.
She's my wife, and it's my call. Can we talk about this later?
No. This whole thing is... Listen, you hit your head. I mean, geez, Al, come on. You gotta understand how crazy all this sounds. If you're trying to pull a joke on me, freak me out, it's working. Ha ha, let's have a laugh on Barry. Well, you had me going there real funny, Al. You can quit it now.
เพื่อนเรามาเที่ยวเลย
I think this is the form you wanted.
And here are the keys. Okay, you're all set, Mr. Wake. Glad to have you staying here.
Thanks. Can you tell me how to get to Lover's Peak?
Oh, sure. It's at the end of the nature trail. Just follow the paths, you'll get to it eventually. It's an easy walk. Nice spot, too.
Look, Al, you're asking me to believe that you shot a dude who went poof into thin air, a guy who was bulletproof until you pointed a flashlight at him. You hear that from people who end up spending time in padded rooms, strapped to their beds, wearing white shirts with too long tangled up sleeves, and eating a healthy diet of pills. Al, you make cruel jokes about people who believe that kind of stuff. You're the skeptic. You gave me an hour-long lecture on homeopathy last month. That's just crazy talk, Al. Al? Al? We should go to the sheriff or call the FBI.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her. This is not a goddamn debate, Barry. I'm going to Lover's Peak. He said to come alone.
Okay then. I understand. You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head. Tell me what to do to help, and I'll do it.
You stay here, and if I'm not back by morning, call the cavalry.
เพื่อนเรามันจะฝันหรือเปล่า
Just be careful with the natives, Al. These yokels are dangerous. Everybody hates a tourist, or it'll be deliverance all over again.
Bless you.
Oh, this place is trying to kill me. I'll bet there's mold in here, spores, poison ivy, God knows what. This is so not worth a 15% commission.
สิกาแฟมีฉบับให้เราเก็บดูป่ะมีกาแฟมีถ่านด้วยอย่างนี้กระสุนนอกเรื่องอย่างที่เราเก็บไว้ตั้งแต่ชัปเตอร์ที่เอพิโซดที่แล้วก็ไม่อยู่สิถ่านนับใหม่หมดเลยโอ้โหเสียดายเก็บไว้เต็มมือเลยซีมีของเก็บไหมอ๋อนี่ไงกาแฟอันที่2โอ้ยมีอ่างด้วยขอน้ำน่าจะหมดแล้วแหละไปกันต่อ
Every step of the way, Al. Walk through the door now.
เราจะแบบ
Barry had never gotten along with Alice, but he knew Alan loved her with an almost frightening intensity. And now something had happened to Alice. And here was Al armed with a gun and saying things people got put in padded cells for. It was as if his friend had experienced a massive psychotic episode and was now totally disconnected from reality. It scared the shit out of Barry.
ออกรถเอาให้เราขับรถไปเนาะ
Barry had the keys to the car he rented. Wasn't a long walk to the visitor center, and it wouldn't be any use to me in the forest. I knew I should have gone to the cops. This wasn't the smartest thing I'd ever done, but I was still angry with Barry for trying to talk me out of it. These people had called me right in the sheriff's station. The cops wouldn't scare them, and they had Alice.
สำรวจกันต่อโอ้มีกา
Welcome back to the show, folks. As promised, our very own Dr. Nelson has just parked his rear end in the studio. Doc, what's your Deerfest plan like?
My plan? You make it sound a lot more organized than I ever seem to manage.
Oh, yeah. Right.
No plan, really. Just taking the atmosphere. I'm getting a little too rickety to do much more than that, you know.
ได้ดีไม่มีอะไรหรอกน่าจะยังเซฟอยู่ของไม่ต่อโอ้แอบสะดุ้งโอ้สัญญาณลางร้ายมาแต่ไกลไฟแตกเซฟโซนของเราไปซะแล้วแล้วก็พีอยู่นี่ชายเคฟแล้วก็เคฟด้วยโอ้บ้านพังโอ้ต่อไฟก็เสียบ้านถูกกระจู่โจมเลยนกเหรอมีไนท์สปริง
Crime and punishment. The cancer and cure of civilization.
เอ้ย
But some crimes are
โอ้
impossible to punish,
มีรอยเลือดด้วย
especially in Night Springs.
นกสำหรับการเดินไม่ค่อยดีเท่าไหร่เลยไปดีกว่าตรวจสอบต้องจะปรับเลยนะ
The air in the visitor center was heavy with an awful smell, as if some rotten drowned thing had crawled up from its grave. Rusty kept coughing blood. My eyes were drawn to the twisted shape of his broken leg. The attack had been vicious. Max whined in his cage. Rusty's eyes were wild with fear and terror. He gasped. Mr. Wake, it happened just the way it was on that page.
เรื่องราวต่อจากนี้แน่ๆเลยมันได้ไปซ้ายแล้วต้องขึ้นขวาก่อนอยากให้อาหารสัตว์ป่าโอ้จะปรับก่อนจะปรับไฟร้อนสว่างจังเลย
Rose knew that Rusty was in love with her, and she liked him too. She liked him a lot. He taught her to dance, and life had certainly taught her the value of a man who was gentle. He treated her well, made her smile, made her feel good. But Rusty wasn't the...
ต่อมีแบบ9ฐานไปฉาย9แล้วก็ปืน24นัดไม่แย่ไม่แย่อยากดูไม่ดีเลยไปดับซะด้วยโอ้ไอ้ตีลัสตี้อ๋อคนที่ให้เราเช่าเคบินเมื่อกี้นี่นะโอ้พายุลงกันเลย
The visitor center was sturdy, but the impact turned the front of the building into splinters. Rusty was thrown across the lobby like a rag doll and hit the far wall hard. It didn't hurt until he tried to move and saw his leg bend the wrong way, felt the broken ribs stabbing him on the inside. Rusty howled in pain and fear, suddenly afraid to die alone.
Oh.
The ranger's office was locked. I'd need a key to get in.
ตอนนั้นดัสตี้ขอสำรวจก่อนแป๊บไม่มีของโอเคไปหาดัสตี้กันดีกว่า จ้าของบ้านโอ้เละเลย
Hello? Back here. I'm back here. Hey, please help me.
โอ้เลือดโอ้ลอย
Mr. Wake?
Oh, hell. It happened just the way it was on that page. I found. Came true. It knew. So dark. It'll come back for me. You must... The lights. In the office. I have the key.
Okay, Rusty. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Whatever
did this couldn't be far. Rusty had found a page from the manuscript. It would help me understand what had happened. Shh. Good boy.
โอ้เละเลยตัวพยาบาลแต่ว่าเอาไปช่วยไม่ได้
A presence so dark. Like the forest at night. Woke up.
ตอนนี้ไปเปิดไฟ
The only way to make sure that Rusty was safe was to get the power running and the lights back on. At the last instant, I changed direction and threw myself down. The axe splintered the trunk of a tree. I stumbled into the pool of bright light. My lungs burned. I was too exhausted to move. I tensed as I waited for the killing blow, but it never came. I raised my head. Nothing moved in the darkness beyond. For the moment, bathed in the cold light, I was safe. It was too late. Someone had destroyed the circuit breaker. There was no way to get the lights back on.
ดาวไปเลยโอ้
Rusty!
The
ground was covered with bloody patches that looked like liquid darkness.
Rusty เราไปไหนแล้วโอ้โห
Something had torn a mammoth-sized hole in the wall.
อ้าวน้องหมาส่งน้องหมาไปด้วย
Fishing!
โอ้อะไรวะอ๋อข้างบนอ้าวลัสตี้กลายเป็นพวกมันไปแล้ว
Rusty, no! Never! Two bears and wolves never approached any other wildlife closer than 25 yards. That's never!
เอาซะโอ้โห
It is against the law to remove any natural objects or historical artifacts from the park. This includes or even simple berries.
ตื่นซะด้วยโรฟี่โอ้อันนี้ใครวะริ้วล้อโอ้โหแต่ลัสตี้เราบินไปแล้วคนหนึ่งแป๊บเดียวเองกลายเป็นวันเฉยเลยโอ้น้องหมาก็ไปอยู่ด้วยโอ้น้องหมาก็ไป ฟโซนแต่ก่อนเห็นเซฟโซนไม่อยากออกจากเซฟโซนเลย
Forget about it, Barry. It's just me going crazy.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. You're not crazy. I wish you were crazy, but you're not crazy. Al, be careful.
Stay in the cabin. Don't open the door for anyone. I mean it.
เพื่อนเรารู้แล้วเราไม่ได้บ้าสุดปืนต้องลงไปข้างล่างเมื่อกี้หรือเปล่าจะปรับ
In that last instant of consciousness, Rusty thought about Rose. He was older than she was. Rose was barely out of her teens, but she made him feel young and forget what a train wreck his long-dead marriage had been. He still wore the ring. He'd been waiting for her to tell him to take it off. Now she never would.
ให้เราเริ่มจากตรงเลยลงไปข้างล่างกันก่อนลุยแล้วนี่ก็หูฟังเตือนไปจะหมดพอดีแต่ยังจะได้อยู่ก็เสียบสายไปไม่เป็นไรแต่เสียงน่าจะเป็นเพี้ยน
Lover's Peak was at the far end of the nature trail.
ซ้ายต้องมีศัตรูแล้วมั้งเนี่ยโอ้ยถ้ำนั่นไงให้เราเข้าถ้ำไปหาของนี้ด้วยเราต้องไปตัวเด้งมาแต่ตัวอะไรก็ออกมาเลยวิ่งแล้วนะถ้าไม่มาไม่ต้องมีสิโอ้ขนลุกเลยโอ้ไม่ดุ้งอยู่เรื่อยเลยนี่โอ้โห3ข้างหน้า1ข้างหลัง2โอ้ไม่ต้องเลยต่อไปเดี๋ยวต้องยิงกูแล้วไหมล่ะอ๋อไปทางนู้นDouble Peak างเดินขึ้นเขาหมดแล้วเนาะหมดแล้วเนาะไปซ้ายแล้วก็ต้องไปขวาสินี่เป็นของอย่างนี้
Nobody in Bright Falls seemed to know where Al was, but Rose, the waitress at the diner, had seen him. From what Barry could tell, Al pretty much fell off the face of the earth when he left the diner. Rose was just the kind of fan that Al hated, but she really tried to help. She was smart too, knew a lot about what was going on in the town, knew a lot about Al, even knew who Barry was. Barry liked her. That was no big surprise. When it came to women, Barry and Al rarely saw eye to eye.
ดีนะเราในเพื่อนเราเนี่ยแฮร์รี่จะหมดแล้วนะโอ้เสียบรรยากาศบิ้วอีกเตรียมปืนไว้ก่อนเลยมาแน่ๆตรงเนี้ยนั่นไงโอ้ยนั่นไงบิ้วมาขนาดนี้ไม่มาได้ไงที่เบิ่มเรานั่นไงไม่นานไปคำเดียวโอ้3เลยโอ้โอ้ยโอ้ล่วงเลยในนั้นเอามาแล้ว1 2นี่เนี่ยเอาไปดอก1นั่นไงมีตัวสิผู้สำรองอันสุดท้ายโอ้นัดหนึ่งเหลือ10กระสุนเหลือ15โอ้นี่5ตัวเฮ้ยโอ้โหเรียบร้อยดีแต่บางทีเขาวิ่งมาหาแสงไฟมันดับมันก็โดนสับอยู่ดี
turned the corner, afraid of what the flashlight's beam might reveal. Suddenly, a roughly painted symbol of a torch glowed in the light. Behind it, hidden by a rock, sat a battered metal trunk. It was here for a reason, packed with supplies, batteries, flares, ammo, things you need to make it through the darkness of the night. Something left behind by someone who knew what I knew, and more.
เอาสับอย่างพังทิ้งไว้เลยโอ้ยกาแฟแล้วก็มีกาแฟลงไปจะขึ้นรถได้ไหมเนี่ยกาแฟไปขวดหนึ่งนะลงไปเจอทางไหนก็ได้ระวังหมีโอ้ตัวนี้ไม่น่ามีหมีนะมันเป็นศัตรูตัวใหญ่มันถือขวานมากกว่านั่นไงนั่นไงผู้บริการคำมาเยอะเลยโอ้อีกหน่อนึงมาเลยแล้วแรกเปิดปูเราก็หมดคุ้มอยู่นะ3 ตัวจะลงเมื่อกี้ป่ะอ๋อนี่ไงเมื่อกี้ที่เห็นลมพัดแรงเฉยสั่นใจเลยไม่ได้หรออ๋อต้องปีนหรือเปล่า
Agent Nightingale didn't want to be in Bright Falls. These little communities revolted him, and he didn't like the trees or the coffee. He now knew that impossible horrors lurked behind the storefronts and smiles. He desperately wanted to turn the car around and just drive until he passed out or ran out of road and booze. But he had a job.
ลากเลื่อนโอ้ลอกมันเป็นลอกเลื่อนไม่น่าจะง่ายหน่อยนะขึ้นไประหว่างทางก็ต้องจะมีอะไรขัดขวางเราเหมือนเดิม ชีวิตไม่ได้ภายได้นั่นไงโอ้ดูโยกโอ้
We gotta get moving. More of them coming. That flashlight's kid stuff. The flares will keep the bastards away.
รู้แน่แต่ของทั้งหมดยังไงยิงไปแล้ว2 นัด
You can see them too?
Hell, of course I see them. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, wait. You better keep
Oi.
up. Hear that? It's them. Bring it!
Oh, oh. Oh, โดนรัวๆเลย
Hell, of course I see him. Come on, we gotta move.
Why?
Because that's the way the story goes.
Yeah, but...
Let's move!
I lost my gun back there.
Oh, I've got a gun. Just keep that light steady on him.
It took a moment, but then I recognized him. He'd been on the ferry when I first arrived here with Alice. He knew my name. We were headed in the direction of Lover's Peak. There was no way this was a coincidence. He was the kidnapper.
Come on, Wake! You better keep up. See that? It's them. That's what I got for you! Peak. Right up these stairs, Wake. Use the flares from the emergency box to hold them off while I get these boards off.
Give me the gun.
Yeah, no can do, Wake.
Are you kidding? Give me the gun!
No time for back talk.
3
Just a little longer. Scare them off. Get some light on those bastards. That'll keep them off us. Just a little longer. I almost got it. Okay, it's open. Move it or lose it.
Better get ready. They'll be on us soon.
ไม่ดีเชียวเฮ้ยกาแฟเกือบแล้ว
This is it, Wake. Last stand. There's more flares here. Get ready. We fight them as long as they keep coming.
Give me the goddamn gun! They're coming!
That's not how this goes. Get with the program, Wake. That's right.
งานยากให้เราไงสองไฟ
Let's cut the act now. Where's my wife?
I knew you were going to say that. I read it all before. You're a hell of a writer. Congratulations. You're going to bring about something glorious and terrible once we get you some proper editorial control.
What the hell are you talking about? Where's Alice?
I want the entire manuscript, or she's gonna suffer bad.
You touch her, I'll...